All right, today we are jumping into a truly fascinating project. We're going to be ancient architects for a little while because we are cracking open a blueprint that's literally thousands of years old, right from the book of Exodus. Our goal, to really understand the incredibly detailed instructions for building a sacred, portable sanctuary. So, let's get building. And really, this is the big question, isn't it? How do you build a portable temple from a divine blueprint? The instructions we're about to dig into are so specific, covering everything from the exact dimensions to the types of metal you have to use. It's an amazing challenge when you think about it. Creating a home for the divine that's also designed to be packed up and moved across a desert. And make no mistake, these aren't just some friendly suggestions. The text presents this as a divine architectural plan, handed down directly on a mountain. That means every single detail matters, from the biggest wall right down to the tiniest bronze peg. It's all part of the design. So, to really get a feel for this place, we're going to take a bit of a virtual tour. We'll start from the outside and work our way in, just like an ancient Israelite would have. We're going to follow this blueprint step by step to see exactly how this sacred space was put together. Okay, so the very first thing you would come across is the courtyard. Now, this wasn't a building like we think of one today, but this huge, enclosed outdoor area. Its main job was to create a boundary, to draw a line in the sand between the sacred and the everyday. What's so wild here is the precision. I mean, look at this. The blueprint calls for a perfect rectangle. You can see the symmetry right away. The north and south sides are identical, 100 cubits long with 20 posts each, and the west and east ends are both 50 cubits wide. This is a very intentional, very orderly design. And just to give you some perspective on that, 100 cubits is roughly 150 feet. That's about half the length of an American football field. So this courtyard was a serious enclosure, not just some small tent. It would have had a real presence out there in the desert. And the list of materials is just as specific. You've got these elegant curtains made of finely twisted linen. But then look at the metals. The hooks and the bands connecting everything are precious silver, while the heavy-duty bases and pegs holding it all down are made of sturdy, practical bronze. You can see a real logic to what material is used where. Now, those curtains were 5 cubits high. That's about 7.5 feet tall. And what's so important about that is that you couldn't just casually peek over the top. This linen wall created a very clear visual barrier. It was a powerful way of saying that whatever was happening inside was separate, it was set apart, it was sacred. So let's walk over to the entrance, because while the rest of the courtyard was surrounded by this uniform white linen, the single point of entry, well, that was designed to be completely unmistakable. It was spectacular. And this just lays it out perfectly. The main walls are all about creating a boundary, so that simple, high-quality linen does the job. But the entrance is a gateway. It's meant to draw you in, to be seen. So it's this burst of color, using these expensive blue, purple, and scarlet yarns woven right into the linen. The blueprint calls for a gate curtain that's 20 cubits long. We're talking about 30 feet wide. And it specifically says it should be the work of an embroiderer. So this wasn't just some dyed cloth, you guys. It was a work of art. It was a massive, colorful signal that when you passed through this gate, you were entering a place of profound importance. Okay, so you step through that incredible entrance. You're inside the courtyard. And the first major thing you would see is the altar. It's really the functional and spiritual heart of this whole outer space. And it's defined by one material above all else, bronze. And here we go again with the geometry. It's a perfect square, 5 cubits by 5 cubits, and 3 cubits tall. So that's roughly 7.5 feet square and about 4.5 feet high. It would have been this solid, imposing structure sitting right there in the courtyard. The way it was built is just fascinating. You'd start with a hollow frame made from durable acacia wood. Then you'd cover the entire thing with bronze, which makes it tough enough to handle fire. A bronze grating goes inside to hold the offering, and then you add these bronze-covered poles so the whole thing can be carried. Every single part is built for its purpose and for portability. And it wasn't just the altar itself. The entire toolkit that went with it, every pot, every shovel, every bowl and fork, was also required to be made of bronze. It creates this powerful material consistency. Bronze is the metal of the courtyard. It's the metal of sacrifice. Now, the final set of instructions in this chapter kind of shifts our focus. We move from construction to, well, maintenance.
is a command that isn't about building something new, but about keeping something going, a perpetual light.
The instructions here are incredibly direct. The people are commanded to bring clear oil from pressed olives for one very specific purpose, to make sure the lamps inside the inner sanctuary never, ever go out. They have to burn continuously from evening until morning.
And notice, this isn't a general command to just anyone. The responsibility is put squarely on the shoulders of the priests, Aaron and his sons. It becomes their duty to tend the lamps. It's this daily, ongoing act of service and devotion.
And here is the absolute key. The text calls this a lasting ordinance. This wasn't a temporary rule just for their time in the desert. No, this is a command designed to be permanent, something to be passed down through all future generations. And that just leaves us with this incredible idea to think about. You have this complex, portable building designed from the ground up to be taken apart and moved. And yet, inside it, there are rituals and duties that are described as permanent, everlasting. So what does that tension between a mobile space and a timeless command tell us about what it really means for a place, or even an act, to be sacred?